Hi, and welcome to Fuck Around and Get Paid, the podcast that's here to help you get paid for doing what you effing love. In this episode, we're going to talk about why business feels overwhelming even when you already know exactly what to do. Let's dive in. Hello, my friend. I'm so excited to dive into today's episode, but first I have to tell you what just happened. I just made lunch and I came up and I asked Joey, would you like some lunch? He turned around and he looked at me and he said yes. So I made some for him as well. He came downstairs. We sat down together. Joey is my husband and my business partner. Okay. We sat down, we ate lunch. We talked about some fun things. We talked a little bit about work. We sat there looking at each other, talking, having conversation. And then we go on our merry way. I come up here to record a podcast episode, turn on the Zoom camera, and I'm like, something looks weird. I realize my shirt, my V-neck shirt, is on backward. I had one. He did not notice. You guys, anybody else who has a significant other that just does not, I'm like, do you see me? Are you face blind? Are you like blind? Do you not see that I have something in my teeth, that my shirt is on backwards? I'm telling you, I swear this is our everyday life. I was laughing so hard. Like, what? Are you not looking at me? What is happening? Anyway, that is a total aside, but very important too, because let me tell you, working with your partner is a whole thing, but we are loving it and we are having so much fun supporting our clients. But I got an email from someone in our community who asked me specifically if I would do a podcast on the ABCs of starting a business. Very understandable. What we do is start businesses, help people to grow their businesses. So my first thought to her was, sure, of course, we could talk about offers, websites, getting your offer right, talking about your audience, LLCs, taxes. What do you want to talk about? These things are super important. But I got into conversation with this individual, and the more and more we talked, the more I realized that what she's asking for was not just the ABCs of starting a business, because she has already had a business for a long time. Like, she knows exactly what to do to start, run, and be a badass business person. And so many people do. And I want to tell you, the basics of business are actually not that challenging. And I mean, she even knew exactly what she wanted to build. She had a totally clear vision for it, as most people do. It's actually very rare that you don't have a vision for what you want. We know what we want. And again, she'd even built a business before. So why was she feeling so stuck on this question of how do I start a business? And here's the truth. I think a lot of us tell ourselves that we're overwhelmed by the logistics because it feels like a much safer problem to solve than to admit that we're actually terrified by something completely different, which is being seen. It's easier to Google how to start an LLC than to ask, can I allow people to really see the real me? Another question that is under the surface of this is, what if I create a business and nobody wants it? What if no one comes? What if people think that I'm ridiculous for having some dream that I'm stepping out with? What if I'm actually not capable of building the thing that I'm thinking about? And so these are the normal questions that are underlying in our nervous systems that are stopping us from stepping out and doing the thing that we really want to do. And we know that. I know that you know that. You know that at this level, you're not a total greenhorn to this. You're aware that that's some of what is happening. And so why is it still running the show? And so what I want to share with you in this episode are the 3 reasons that people don't build the businesses that they want. I want to share with you even some lessons that I myself have learned, what I have noticed about this conversation, and what has actually changed for me even in the past year about this conversation based on actual client work that I have been doing with people, where my perspective has shifted, and what I truly believe can be done to support you and move you forward in your business. Okay. So let's start here. Let's start with the 3 reasons that people Don't build those big ass dreamy visions, that big business that you really want. Okay, so here are the three main reasons. And I'm not saying this is all inclusive, but these are the main things that I see over and over and over again. So the first thing is that they don't know what they want. And the funny thing is that this is actually really rare. Almost everybody knows exactly what they want. There are little fears, beliefs. I don't know if I can have that. I don't know if I should want that. That all of the things that get in the way of that. Most people actually do know what they want with the right questions. We can get very clear on this actually quite quickly. The next one is that they don't know what to do next. Okay, this is a strategy problem and it's totally solvable. This is very solvable, not knowing what to do next, but it's real, right? And I have this conversation with clients all the time. It's like, what do I do with my hands? You go on a Monday morning to go get started in your business, or you go to start the business at all, and you're like, I'm not sure what to do next. What is the next step? Again, that's totally solvable. That's just knowing what the step is or having the guidance to support you. So that third thing is knowing exactly what they want, and even knowing the next step, having that, okay, I know what I want, I know what I need to do, but becoming the version of themselves, hear me on this, my friend, becoming the version of themselves who can take those next steps feels really uncomfortable. It feels really, really, really scary. And this is where there's a lot of cloudiness that I see in people, and myself too. This is normal. So most people think that they need another strategy. I need to know the steps. I need to know this. I've got to overcome some energetic block. But really, all that they need to do is support while they become that person. And this has been the case for me over and over in my business as well. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned is that business doesn't ask you to become someone else. And this is where I think the conversation around identity gets very confusing and is very dangerous for women. So in the way that some people position it, because some people say you need to become some higher version of yourself. We talk about becoming a higher, some different version of you, the version of you that you're stepping into. And I use this language too, okay? Because it is like the person who you've been, the actions that you've been taking, the things that you've been doing, the energy you've been moving from, the things you've been believing, that needs to change in order to move into what you are creating. That is a truth. That does need to change. But what I want you to understand is that it's not becoming somebody else. And I just want you to be honest with yourself in how you have been perceiving some of the things that you've been hearing from people, because I've gotten tripped up in this myself too. Like, I need to become someone else. That's not really entirely true. You actually need to become less of something that's not you. It's actually putting down a lot of patterns that you've picked up, things that you've believed, things that you've done, to get back to the truest version of you, which is the most magnetic version of you. So this is the most important, most potent, most powerful work. And it's why in what I teach, there are very specific pillars that I teach from, and the identity energy pillars are very, very, very important. So this is asking of you is not to become somebody else, but to become more yourself than you have ever allowed yourself to be. That's very scary to your nervous system. It's not cool with it. It's not cool with it, but it is essential to get paid to be you, to be paid to have fun, to F around and get paid. It's essential. It is essential that you allow yourself to be the most you that you've ever been, which means being honest, which means being vulnerable, which means stepping out and being like, yes, this is how I see the world. Ooh, ooh. How does your nervous system feel about that, my friend? So what I noticed about this conversation with this beautiful human was that we very quickly switched from what are the nuts and bolts? Like, how do I start a new business? Like, how do I do this? To realizing it wasn't really about that at all. It was 100%. And they said this too. So it wasn't me who identified it. She said this. Oh my gosh, it's actually about visibility. It's about courage. It's about trust. It's about expansion. It is indeed about identity. That identity piece, again, being you becoming the most you version of you that you can be, not some other outside thing that you need to become. Okay. So the how do I do this steps, that's important. Like, you do need to know the next step. We have to take the next step. We do the things that are important in business. That's essential. It's necessary. But the energetics and the identity are the true bottleneck that really is, it's just a kink in the hose. And it's beautiful. We can work through that, right? So it's important that every business has these parts. So there's 4 parts. There's what we already talked about. It's the vision. It's what do I want? What do I actually want to create? That's your vision. You're a visionary. You are. If you're listening to this podcast, if you have a calling on your heart, you have something you desire to create, you're a visionary. You are bringing something that's out in the ether. It has come through you. It's come to you, and it's coming through you. It wants to be created. So you are a visionary. So then you have the vision, and then you turn that into what we call in the business world an offer. It's a thing. It's something that people want. It helps people. It serves people. It does something. Something changes before they had the thing and after. And the after is a key component of your vision. It's like, oh, I see this reality. I see something different for the world, for people, for myself, right? So the vision influences the offer. But then we have this third thing. Ooh, visibility. How do people find me? How do people meet me? When they do, what are they meeting? What is this version of me? Again, remembering not some future out there version, but actually doing less of the other stuff. This most potent, most powerful version, take off the shrouds. This most potent version of me. How do people find me? What visibility moves am I doing so that I can be the most magnetic that I am? And you, number 4, you, like, can you consistently show up as that version of you that you know is most potent, that version of you who, like, you can do all the visibility moves. You can do all the things. You can post on social media. You can get in the paper. You can start the podcast. You can do all the things. And hallelujah, like, look at what you've moved through to do any one of those things, to do anything, the gusto that it takes to put yourself out there, to show up on social media is massive. Most people won't do it. And you have probably done it, or at least thought about doing it, right? So you've got that, but can you consistently show up as that? Can you get more and more potent? Can you get more and more energetically aligned so that you can really run this business and move it to the next level? So here's the part that most people leave out. And this is really, really, really important. Most business programs, I'm always looking out there at the world. Here's what I see. Most business programs focus on strategy. Most feminine businesses focus on energetics and identity. Many of them really kind of confusing identity and what identity actually is and what actually needs to be done. So this is what I see is lots of strategy, lots of identity, and very rarely is somebody seeing that you are the whole package of that. You taking the strategic actions, you doing the things, you implementing, you integrating, and then you being the most magnetic, most CEO, most badass version of you that feels so good, that feels so juicy, that's having so much fun, that's energetically enthused all the time, that's putting things out there. People are attracted to that energy. That all of that works together, and that's when it hits. That is business, baby, right? The number one thing that I hear people asking is like, how do I get out of my own way? This question of, I know what to do, so why can't I make myself do it? You might even be somebody who has like, you do energetic work, you do healing work, and you're still like, why is this a thing? Like, I know I need to post this. Can somebody remind me of who I am before I hit publish? Like, I just had a sales call and now I'm spiraling. Am I overthinking this? Is this what I should be doing? Is this what is actually in line with my intuition? We ask ourselves these questions all day, every day, because that's real business. Like, these energetic questions of like, what is this? This is happening with every business owner all day, every day, at every single level. So there is nothing wrong with you if these are some of the questions that are coming up for you in your business. Like, absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's totally, totally normal. And I know this because I've been on the back end of big businesses. I see the level of support that is offered there. I see what it takes from the CEO of that business to energetically lead that business, to keep themselves in the energetic vibration of what it takes to keep this business thriving, to keep that enthusiasm, that excitement, to know when to pivot, those kinds of things. That's happening all day, every day. And it's very simple, actually. And we need the reminders. We need to be reminded of the process. We need the place where we can get the clarity. So here's the thing, it's normal for business to feel overwhelming, even when you know exactly what to do, even when you are an educator, even when you're a coach, even when you have done it before, you've built a business before. But you've got to look at the new arena that you're stepping into. Are you stepping into a space that's going to require a different kind of visibility, that's going to require you to step into a new role, and that stepping into teaching something new, sharing something new? It's normal that at that point, your whole system is like, I don't know how to be that person. How can I be that person? And the only way that you can become that person is to start taking the steps that help you to understand what that person is like, how that person moves, how it feels like in your body to energetically move as that person. That work, that's where we get into feeling like, oh my gosh, this is a lot, and it can totally overwhelm our systems and really put us into freeze. And that's when you say, oh my gosh, I am in my own way. And I get this, you guys. I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. I know how triggering this can be and all of the things that can come up for me. And so what I have built is a new beautiful space called Get Paid to Be You. Inside this space, we help you do the things that I know entrepreneurs need. And my husband, Joey, and I, we've been studying, we've been working with people over the past year, and we know these specific steps that need to be taken in terms of clarifying your offer, refining your messaging, figuring out the next best step to do, moving through things when visibility feels scary, helping you to come back to yourself when comparison starts to kick in. All of these things that come up for us as business owners when we step into that new identity and what is required of us, those hundreds of moments that are required as we keep continuing to show up. And we truly believe, I know, that you can get paid to be joyfully free, to do the thing that you have been called to do in this world, to give your gifts, to allow them to pour freely through you. And so even if you've built something before, even if you're really good at what you do, there's something new that is being called on you. If you're one of these people, it is asking something new of you. And there is a toggle that happens with that. And so that's why we have created our specific space just for that, because I know that people don't just need another business course. What you need is this internal that helps you to get out there and actually get paid to be the most potent, most beautiful, most magical version of yourself. And I know that you can do it. And so you get to have a business that reflects who you are and that makes money, real cold, hard cash, real money, doing what you love to do. If that's something that you want to do, you can go to jenliss.com/YOU and come hop in with us. You're going to get real coaching, like from me, like looking at your offers, really helping you and supporting you, real brain trains, real brainstorms with people who are going to help you and support you, and all of the guidance that you need to take your vision from idea to income or stuck to income, wherever the point is that you are at. And we're excited to help you. So again, if you're interested in this, go to jenliss.com/you. Regardless, just know you have everything already inside of you. You really do. So even when it feels overwhelming, know that you can take that next step and reach out and get the support that you need. If you enjoyed this episode, I'm so glad that you're listening, and I'm so glad that you're part of this community. I am cheering you on. Just keep getting out there and effing around and getting paid. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.